The first one we have for today is, am I the asshole for starting my wedding ceremony before my mom showed up? I feel like I've read this one before, but maybe this is like a common occurrence. Maybe something similar had happened, but I'm gonna say no. Because I remember hearing about a story similar to this, or something along the lines that the mom is always late or something, and so they told her the wrong time. That's the only thing that I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna say no. The day of the wedding started out as they normally do. I, bride, was getting ready. This feels like a prompt. Like they are writing a short story. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. The day of the wedding started out as they normally do. I, bride, was inside getting ready, and final touches were being made outside. After I was almost ready by noon, my mom had to run back to the hotel 20 minutes away to change and come back with my grandma and family friend. The invitation says ceremony at 2. As per usual, we were a little late starting, but nothing crazy. Next thing I know, I'm walking myself down the aisle with no mom, grandma, or family friend in sight. The ceremony continues and it's over before we know it. Still nothing. After 45 minutes, finally they pull up. Then I proceed to go and tell them it's over and they missed it and that 2 meant 2. My mother immediately became hostile and proceeded to blame the bakery for not having buns ready. Then said they were stopped by a train, and my personal favorite was, "It's your fault you didn't call or text to see where we are." Excuse me? Again, the invitation said 2. Oh my gosh. Also note, the officiate also had another wedding to get to after mine, so it was a tight schedule. So, am I the asshole for not holding up my ceremony? Side note, I found out the real reason why they were late. She wasn't done getting herself ready, therefore holding up everyone. But she is mad at me because it's my fault. What do you mean? Okay, yeah, not the asshole. Okay, so it's a little different because, well, you're not just holding up one person. You're holding up, like, this is a whole thing. Like, I don't know, especially with the officiate being, like, needing to be somewhere else. Yeah, I feel like that's not really an asshole thing. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I started my wedding ceremony without my mom being there. She drove 20 hours to be there. I could have texted her. I feel like texting could be the last thing on my mind, but also it could be like one of the first things to be like, hey, where are you? No, maybe, yeah, her texting, but like, it sounded like she was making excuses already, so I don't think that would have ended up being productive regardless. Nah, not the asshole. I agree, not the asshole. Definitely not the asshole. If she could have received a text, she could send a text. Ooh, yeah, that's right. It's not up to the bride or groom to keep track of family on their wedding day. That said, it is curious that no other family members, no other members of the wedding party, no wedding planner, etc., made an attempt to find out where the mother of the bride was when she didn't show up. Was it a tiny ceremony? Also, what good would a text have done? They already knew the start time. A text would have conveyed no new information except for the fact that 2 means 2. Big. A text saying running 5 minutes late will get you an extra 5 minutes from me. No text or wait 45 minutes will get you nothing. Yeah, no, like 45 minutes is kind of like a long time to make people wait. 10 minutes I would have already been like crying and stuff. Am I the asshole for telling my dad he's crazy if he thinks I'm going to his house during the week just to make food for his stepkids? What the heck? No? No, not the asshole. Absolutely not. My parents are divorced. I, 16 male, now live with my mom and visit dad every other weekend. The change happened about a year ago. The judge won't let me stop going on those weekends, but I wish I could. I have a younger brother, 14, and a younger sister, 11. My dad's married and has a stepson, 10, and a stepdaughter, 7. He asked me a couple weeks ago to come to his house after school and make food for them before going home. He asked this because he found out that I sometimes make food for my siblings when mom works. He asked me about it the next week and I was over there. He wanted to know why I never did that at his house. I said I just did it. He told me I could have made food for all 4 of the kids. I told him no, and that wasn't happening. He asked why, and I said because I don't mind making something for me and my siblings, and I'm not making food for just anyone. He told me his stepkids are my siblings too, just not by blood, and I told him they're not my siblings, and I never said they were. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Those poor kids, though. Like, I mean, valid poor kid. Oh, okay. Then 2 weeks ago, he asked to go and cook for his stepkids after school. This is during weeks my siblings are home with me and my mom, and weeks they're with him. What the heck? I told him no, and he made that weekend annoying as heck. My mom told him to leave me alone. I'm a kid, and I already chose not to keep 50-50 custody, so he'd want to cherish the time he has with me. He told mom to shut up. What the heck? I see why she got divorced. I didn't do what he asked. He then mentioned it to me Sunday, and that's when I told him he's crazy if he thinks I'm going to his house for the week just to make food for his stepkids. He told me if I can do it for my siblings, I can do it for them. That's so weird. I told him I love my siblings. That's why I do it. Then it was like he focused on me calling him crazy, and he said he's not crazy to expect family to treat each other the same, and how I'm showing blatant favoritism for my blood siblings and not my siblings through marriage. He told me it's cruel to be so blunt about it. Am I the asshole? Dude, your dad's the asshole. What the heck? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told my dad he's crazy for thinking I'll go to his house after school to make food for his stepkids. Calling him crazy might already make me an ass, but then making it so clear that I do it for my siblings because I love them and their family, but my step-siblings are not, could also be what makes me the asshole. You are kind of the asshole. I mean, like, those poor stepkids, but, like, you're also... You can't just, like... force people to get along if they don't, especially like kids and stuff. But it just seems like dad was pushing him. And also, I don't like the vibe of dad. Literally, dad, why don't you feed your kids? They're your kids, bro. Like, hello. If you want to have everybody be treated under one happy family, then why don't you take the initiative? I'm gonna say not the asshole. Dad is totally the asshole. Kind of seems low-key manipulative, and I don't like that. I mean, some parents do just get like really like, I'm your parent, you have to do what I say, and that's the vibe that it's giving, and I don't like whenever that's a thing, but I mean, I'm not a parent, so... Am I the asshole for asking my ex-husband to help pay for our daughter's medical testing? I mean, I'm gonna say it would make sense to go halfsies. So, I'm gonna say yes. Unless dad doesn't pay for anything in the first place. I got divorced about 6 years ago with 3 kids, at the time at 12, 12, and 14. My divorce decree stated we were to split children's medical expenses 60-40. Unfortunately, it did not have an age expiry date or specific language about what was included. Our daughter, female 20, has always had vague and persistent health issues. Headaches, fatigue, nausea, prone to illness, etc. Over the years, I have taken her to lots of doctors and specialists, and we have not found anything. Her father has always blamed her eating habits and lack of exercise, and has never agreed that there could be anything physically wrong. I don't like that. This summer, between her sophomore and junior year in college, I took it on myself to figure out what was wrong. I found a good internal medicine doctor who believed there was a problem and sent her off to specialists to get the bottom of it. Through months of scans and blood tests, she was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease and endometriosis. Oh, dang. The internist impressed upon us that we had found it so early that there is little to no damage on her ovaries or thyroid, which was great news. Oh, that's good. The testing was fairly expensive. I paid for all the co-pays on my credit card. I asked my ex to pay for part of them since they were part of our daughter's health, and he refused, stating that he had just internet fear-mongered and that she had made herself sick by not eating properly. Fucking don't have a kid. He also said he should have been consulted and involved in the process, which our daughter did not want. Am I the asshole for not making a financial plan and discussing it with my ex-husband before the testing? No, because you weren't going to listen to her anyway. No, absolutely not. You were doing what was best for your daughter, and that dude wasn't... No, absolutely not. Blaming it on her eating habits, and they were able to get a diagnosis. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I hate that shit. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I may be the asshole for not including my ex-husband in our daughter's medical decisions and expecting him to pay his share. Honestly, he wasn't going to agree to it. He was already making excuses. He would have fought them tooth and nail. He just wanted to be included so he could tell them no faster. Also, the kids said she didn't want him involved. Exactly. Like, she probably was getting on her ass about that too. Like, that's what I'm getting. Because he never agreed. He's not going to change his mind. The kid is absolutely valid to being like, because dad won't take it seriously, mom's going to take it seriously. Am I the asshole for waving my passport in someone's face? I'm gonna say yes, because that's giving like, and that would piss me off if someone did that to me. I'd be like, what the f? Like, oh my god. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting stances, brother. But I might be wrong. There could be like a valid thing, like the person who's checking it could be like getting onto them or like being like a pain in the ass. I don't know. I'm gonna say yes though. I, 26 male, and British. I am also a dual citizen UK Ireland. This is important to the story. While traveling, I was staying in a hostel and a group of us there decided to go out to some bars. One of the group was an American guy, let's call him Jay. Okay, maybe not the asshole. For some reason, Jay immediately took against me. It started with a few jokes he made about me being British, which I can take, with the bland food, bad weather type stereotypes. As the bar crawl kept going, he was getting drunker and making more and more comments. For instance, he just started referring to me as the limey. That feels strange. And was constantly saying things like he celebrated when the queen died. What? Out of pocket. It was no longer funny and was just all the time making jabs about where I am from. I'm hardly patriotic and will be the first to complain about my country, but there was a point where I was getting offended and it was personally directed at me. Started imitating and mocking my accent, etc. Oh my god. Eventually, I got annoyed and asked him why he thought he had a right to constantly be dunking on me and what his problem was with Britain. Jay's comments was along the lines of, I'm Irish, so allowed for me to constantly hate on Britain. My family came to America because of the famine. And a bunch of other comments like that. At this point, I was a bit drunk and had lost my temper, so I responded by waving my Irish passport in his face. I asked him questions like if he had ever actually been to Ireland, knew my family there, or knew anything about Irish culture. Which he barely knew anything. Didn't know of any family, and the only time he ever spent in Ireland was a week in Dublin. I started lecturing saying that a lot of Irish people had immigrated to the UK and that after his family spent over 100 years in the United States, he barely had any right to consider himself Irish, let alone think it's acceptable to just hate on random people from another country. The other people on this bar crawl had noticed me losing my temper and laying into the guy and called me an asshole since he was only joking. And it's stupid to play the I'm more Irish than you game and should have just asked him to stop earlier. TLDR, I am British Irish. American thinks it's okay to constantly insult me because I am from Britain and he is of Irish descent. I wave my Irish passport in his face and tell him that I am more Irish than he is and he doesn't have the right to behave how he is. Am I the asshole? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Lofi has offered the following explanation for why they think I might be the asshole. I should be judged on waving my passport in his face and it might make me the asshole because I went and told him I was more Irish than he was. Mans was pushing! I'm just saying, this is like, fuck around and find out. Also, like, if you antagonize anyone, expect them to fight back. Literally. Am I the asshole for telling someone I, 28 male, didn't want to babysit my girlfriend, 24 female? I'm gonna say no, but I don't know. Who knows? 2 weeks ago, I went to a high school friend's wedding. He's never met my girlfriend, but still extended a +1 to me in case she would like to come since he knows of her. I didn't even bother mentioning the +1 to her because I knew she wouldn't want to go and knows nobody there except for one girl she met one time, Lily, and Lily's boyfriend. The rest of the guest list was just the bride and groom's family plus a bunch of high school friends. Anyway, wedding rolls around and I go. Lily asked me where my girlfriend is and why she didn't come. I said I didn't want to babysit. I was wrong. I meant it as a joke, as in if she had come, she would be glued to me the entire time, as there would be nobody else that she knows. I was wrong. I mentioned it to my girlfriend in passing today, and she was visibly upset when I told her that I said that to Lily. She said it makes her look bad. She also said that I should have told her about the invite. I asked her if she would have even gone. She said no. I said, what's the point then? Asking the option? Am I the asshole for telling Lily that I didn't want to babysit my girlfriend at a wedding where she didn't know anyone? I feel like that's just rude. I just feel like that's rude. Edit. Thank you everyone for all the comments telling me how big of an asshole I am. I needed it. I took my girlfriend out for brunch, had a good talk, and I apologized. I told her going forward I will extend all invitations to her and be careful of saying things that paint her in a bad light. That's fucking right. That's fucking right. She's an amazing woman and what was said was not cool at all. She accepted my apology and we are good now. To clarify a few things, we've been dating for years. No, we aren't breaking up over this. Yes, we both love each other. She has accompanied me to numerous weddings. I don't force her to always stay at home. I was not trying to meet an old high school girlfriend. The groom invited only male friends from high school, so it was me hanging around my old crew, no girls. The groom isn't going to invite high school girlfriends to his wedding. I truly didn't mean to hurt my girlfriend, but I did, and I accept what I did was wrong. Thank you. Oh, word up. We love a learning king. He learned. He did learn. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I might be the asshole because I neglected to tell my girlfriend about her invite. I should have given her the choice. Also, I could have worded what I said to Lily better. Yep, you are. He knew. He knew he was the asshole. That's okay. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I'm not picking up after him anymore? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. My husband is a typical man, leaving stuff around the house unknowingly, adding to the clutter and totally unaware. We have 2 teenagers and 2 elementary age kids. Oh god. I, as the mom, am responsible for keeping the house clean and organized. While we both work full-time, my husband works from home and I drive into an office. So he is home all day creating these little messes. Oh, that would drive me mad. At night and on weekends, my husband does help with tasks around the house. He does the dishes most nights with the help of our big kids and helps fold laundry. Unfortunately, as we all know, the tasks of keeping a family running go far beyond that, and I am responsible for all of those things. I understand cleaning up after our little kids, but have stopped doing it for our teenagers and now just gather their stuff into their room for them to clean up. They also do their own laundry, so all that's left to clean up for is me, my husband, and our 2 little kids. But I'm just tired of cleaning altogether. It's never ending. More so, I'm tired of also cleaning up his stuff and reorganizing all his stuff because he can't seem to do it. He can't even make his clothes into the hamper. I know it's typical, but I'm over it. When we were dating, pre-kids, I kept everything exactly how he liked it, and that's what his expectation is to this day. Oh, man. So last night I told him I'm not picking up after him anymore, and he got so mad at me. That's weird. Asking me when I got to be so selfish. What? I tried to clarify that I am still cleaning up after our kids and myself, and he just needs to clean up after himself or leave it a mess. I don't care anymore. He was not happy with this. He rushed around the house cleaning up all of our kids' stuff and his stuff, putting my stuff into a pile, and continued to tell me how mad he is about my selfish behavior. Am I the asshole? That's a weird reaction. I'm gonna say no. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told my husband I'm not cleaning up after him anymore, and he needs to do it himself. Okay, so I feel like the reaction is a little weird, but the way that she was also saying, like, especially when she added the I don't care, it's giving the conversation was probably not, like, it was probably like, I don't know how to, like, maybe it was like not really a discussion, more of telling you. I don't know. I'm gonna say not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your husband threw a tantrum because you told him he's responsible for picking up after himself and you're not doing it any longer and called you selfish? Oh my goodness. So last night I told him not picking up after him. A grown-ass man shouldn't need reminding to put his dirty clothes in the hamper, and a grown-ass man shouldn't expect or need his wife to organize his things. In a household of 6, it's everyone's responsibility to pick up after themselves. He's not exempt, and it's not selfish to expect him to keep track of his own belongings and cleaning up his messes. OP setting a boundary that she will no longer be her husband's maid mother is not selfish. The husband feeling comfortable not cleaning up after himself and creating more work for OP than getting her to feel guilty speaking up for herself is selfish and entitled. Hopefully he can stop throwing his tantrum long enough to realize this. Yeah. It's giving there wasn't a conversation before this and she jumped to attacking. Right? Like, I mean, I can see why he can get mad, but it's just like, that's the part where I'm like, I don't know if this was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too into it, perhaps. Mayhaps. But I don't know, dude. It's just, I don't care anymore. Like, it literally how I read it as is, clean up after yourself or leave it a mess. I don't care anymore. And like that kind of like, who knows? You know, that's how I'm reading it as. I'm gonna say not the asshole, but I mean there is the maybe I should go for not enough info. Okay, this one is, am I the asshole for telling my best friend she needs to hire a nanny instead of relying on me? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, because that's it's giving taking advantage of your friend. it's giving that. So my best friend is like my sister, and we always help each other out when needed. She has a 10-month-old baby, and I have always been helping her in every way I can, but lately it started to be a daily thing. We live on the same floor next to each other, and she calls me to watch her baby over everything. I need to shower. Can you hold him? He is so bored. Can you hold him? She calls me like multiple times a day to ask for a favor, and now even when I don't reply, she comes to my house with her baby and asks if I can hold him. Whoa. Yesterday, I had some work to do on my laptop, and she asked me to hold him for 10 minutes because she wanted to take a quick shower. I agreed for 10 minutes, and that turned into an hour and a half. Ooh. Mind you, her son is really not an easy baby. Cries uncontrollably the moment you put him down and try to play with him. So I am forced to walk for like 1.5 hours with him in my arms while I have other things to do. Yeah, that's... Anyway, yesterday I felt lightheaded while walking around with the baby, so I put him down while trying to distract him with some toys. He kept crying so loud, but I couldn't take him because I was worried I would drop him. She heard the crying and knocked my door in a ballistic, angry way, saying, "Why do you let him cry?" "Then take the baby yourself!" I explained to her the situation and also told her that it's her fault for not disciplining him and letting him play on his own. I've babysitted a lot of babies in the past, and none of them were like this. It's not the baby's fault, it's hers. She was like, "I don't like to ever hear my baby cry, and I do not accept that you let him cry either." That really pissed me off, so I went on like, "Then you should hire a nanny that will fulfill all your requirements." That's right. Extra info. Nobody of her family, including her mom, wants to ever help her out because of the fact they can't put him ever down. Not even for a second. Also, her husband has a very well-paying job. They can easily afford to hire help. Thirdly, I absolutely do not mind helping her out, and I love her baby, but I do not like when it's like a must, and she even gets angry when I don't do it her way. Side note, I always do it her way. Just yesterday it was taking too long and I was just concerned about his well-being, as I had already fainted a couple of days ago. What? When helping out someone feels like an obligation, I immediately don't want to do it anymore. Am I being the asshole? No. Edit. I don't mean disciplining, but training. English is not my first language. Edit. I really didn't expect this post to blow up like this. Thank you all for your input. Really appreciate that. I can't reply on everyone, but I am reading everything. Like, I can understand wanting to have your child watched a certain way, but the fact that you're, like, throwing your kid on your friend, it's just, I don't know. I don't like that. It just gives me, oh god. I don't know. Like, okay, watch your kid then. You watch your kid. OPS offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I decided I don't want to help my friend out anymore, and I might be considered the asshole because she does need me, and instead of being there for her, I just want to take a distance. Excuse me. Not the asshole. Your friend pushed you to this limit. Literally, push it to the limit, girly pop, too much. We know, like, I mean, having a kid is a lot of work. It really, truly is. But, like, having to, like, depend on your friend on them like that is kind of weird in my eyes personally. Yes, especially offering to help, but like when it does become like obligation and stuff, it's just I kind of agree with their stance on that. Next time she knocks on your door with that baby, quickly grab your outside jacket bag and open the door. Pretend you were going out to the store or something. This is only a temporary solution for when she refuses to get the hint or if you don't know how you should say no. I've done this a few times, but it makes things so awkward, especially because she doesn't take the hint. She gets it, but she simply chooses to ignore it. Oh my god, that is not a friend. Move. You should move. Move and don't tell her where you're going. Tell her you're moving out of the country. Then you have to start being more firm about saying no. I know it's uncomfortable. In a perfect world, she would take the hints you're trying to drop, but she won't. She'll keep pushing until you push back. Yeah, she knows I have issues with saying no. That... I hate when people do that. Ugh. Yeah, she knows I have issues with saying no, and even really when I do say no, I always end up feeling so super guilty. Oh my god. Oh my god. She knows you have issues saying no and takes advantage of that fact. She is the asshole. You are her doormat. Oh my god, yeah, don't be a doormat to her anymore. Oof, doormat, tough pill to swallow. Oh, this poor person. Oh my god, yeah, not the asshole. What the heck? Alright, this next one is, am I the asshole for not forcing my fiance to wear my father's late wife wedding dress? No? My father lost his first wife, I'm going to call her Mia, more than 30 years ago. It is a very long and complicated situation, but to summarize it, my mother is the second on his heart because he's always said that the love of his life is Mia, and he always made it clear. Oh my god. My dad still wears his wedding ring with Mia in one hand. My mom bakes a cake for her birthday. Whoa! Whoa, my mom leaves my dad alone when it's his anniversary with Mia and he's feeling down. There are many photos of Mia in the house. There are even photos of her in their room because my father never wanted to change them, etc. That's insane. That's insane. Oh my god. As crazy as it may seem, this kind of thing is very normal within couples of this type, and they see that as something normal and sweet even if it is not. For example, making a cake every Mia's birthday was the idea of another woman who is also married to a widower and does the same thing. That's wild. I don't. Okay, so me, this is definitely a preference thing. Like, of course, they're gonna see, as long as they see it as sweet, it's not harming the other person you're married to. But, like, I just, personally, I couldn't do that. I don't think I could. Like, no, absolutely not. I've been raised that way, kind of having two mothers, even if it wasn't like that. It was not a healthy childhood, but luckily I had gone to therapy to work on all the issues that this caused. My mother always says that he gives her the space she deserves and feels equally loved like he loves his first wife. My siblings and I don't see it that way because our mother deserves better, but if she is happy, we will not ruin her happiness, so we never talk about it. Oh, the kids even know! Now coming to the problem. I'm going to marry my fiance. Her mother never had a wedding ceremony, so she doesn't have a wedding dress to inherit, so my girlfriend excitedly told me that she thinks it would be cute to ask my mother if she can use her dress. My mom has mentioned that in the past, and I don't have any sisters, so I thought it was a nice idea. Anyway, I talked to my mom about lending her dress to my fiance, and she got really excited and said yes. My mother had spoken several times about wanting to have a daughter to wear her dress, and she was very excited when my fiance asked her to wear it. She even tried it on. The conversation was closed. Okay, this is sweet. Now, almost a month after we talked about it, my mom asked my fiance that it would be nice to wear Mia's wedding dress. No! Oh my god. My fiance told her no. She feels a connection with my mother and not with Mia. She doesn't even know Mia. I mean, look, it is really sad that you lost your first wife like that, the love of your life like that. Like, that's so valuable to have her, like, but you're hurting other people around you, and that's just where it makes it no longer okay. After that, my mother has been asking me to try to convince my fiance to wear Mia's dress. My father wanted me to put up the typical decoration to commemorate the deceased, but I told him I won't do that, so my mother now wants my fiance to wear Mia's dress to commemorate her, and for her to be present too because she was someone really special. Again, I never met her. I don't know who she was. My fiance told me that Mia is a total stranger to her. My fiance wants my mother's dress. She wants to give her a special place at my wedding since my mother sees her as a daughter and she as a second mother and wants to have a special moment. Valid! I told my mother that I don't intend to do that. It even seems gloomy and weird to me, and I have been raised around Mia's memory that sometimes I don't even understand if I am exaggerating or not. Am I the asshole? Being raised in this kind of way sometimes makes me feel confused about what is normal and not in a family. It would be normal to ask my fiance to wear Mia's dress in my family dynamic, but I don't know what someone who was raised normally would do and if I am the bad person for not wanting to have done it. I feel so bad for this person. I'm glad they're going to therapy to get this sorted, because this is definitely a deep thing. Not the asshole though. Oh my god, dude, your dad kind of sucks. Your dad kind of sucks. It's reminding me of Corpse Bride a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Not forcing my fiance to use a dress. Not forcing my fiance to use a dress. Jesus Louises, that one's crazy. I'm not the asshole. I feel really bad for those people in that family. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my mom after she said I was being lazy and should have a job by now? I'm gonna say no. But, I mean, you never know. I'm gonna say no, I might be wrong. I think I might be wrong on it. I don't know, the job market's really bad right now, but I don't know. Okay, 27 male. Around a month and a half ago, our department cut its funding and I got laid off. A month and a half ago? Okay, Okay, maybe not. Okay. No promises of returning either. I'm a case manager. Honestly, after 3 years of it, I'm not ready to return either. I only got paid $18 an hour and was stressed out almost every day with a big case load of clients. Since being laid off, I probably applied to 30 different places. I lost count. My mother is helping me as well. I had no follow-up phone calls and can't believe it's this hard. 8 years ago, you could just walk in anywhere, hand in a resume, and get an interview same day. Now everything is online. No personableness at all. The only place that called me back was an entry-level stocking position, and they called and told me that they had other more qualified candidates. Lol. Here's where my mother comes into play. She sends me getting frustrated about the job search and will send me links of places hiring in the area. The problem is my mother is much old-fashioned. She's in her 60s and just thinks that I'll get hired anywhere because I have a bachelor's degree. Just yesterday, she sent me a supervisor position at a factory and said, "You have a bachelor's degree. You'll be at the top of the list for candidates." Like mom, another one just told me that they had more qualified people to stock the shelves. She gets upset when I say that I'm not gonna even apply because I'm wasting my time. She feels that I'm being lazy. We got into it and I thanked her for the help but told her that times are changing and it's just not easy to get a decent job anymore. I can appreciate my mother's help, but don't like being put down for being lazy when it doesn't make sense to even waste my time. I don't think they're the asshole for that. I don't think it would hurt to apply, but also like it just that rejection also would have like made me upset. Like there were better candidates to like stock shelves and stuff. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Becoming argumentative with my mother, she's trying to help me and doesn't understand. She's not understanding and she's not going to listen to you. Like if she has to be understanding after a certain point because like you are trying. You are literally trying. Mother sees you trying. She's trying to send you links to all this and stuff. She feels that I'm being lazy. Did she say that or is it just your interpretation? If you're living in her home, then you're going to be subject to both help and advice. Deal with it. If you're living in your own place and relying on savings or unemployment benefits, then she's probably worried about how long it might last before you ask for her help. Not the asshole. You're frustrated and she's concerned. Both of you need to interact less or differently on the job topic. No, she said that. I'm on my own, but in a pretty good position, I'd say. I have only 20K to go on my house and money and savings. Oh, that's good then. Am I the asshole for accepting a promotion and leaving behind family at a time of need after sacrificing so much in the past? I'm gonna say no. Background. Almost a year ago, I shared on the subreddit how I resented my father. I found out he had secretly married a secret wife. What the what? Although, what is this? Polygamy is permitted in my country, I felt angry and bewildered. Still, my father remained kind and caring, never mistreating us, and he works tirelessly to provide us with a comfortable life. Before discovering this, I deeply loved him. Even though I despised his actions afterward, my love for him persisted. He truly is a caring and good man. Even my mother forgave him, and he's made great efforts to show that he genuinely cares about us. Even if we harbored anger towards him, divorce was not an option due to our challenging circumstances. My childhood was far from typical. I was sent to boarding school at an early age and lived on my own until university because my younger sister had severe nonverbal autism. My mother had to leave her job to take care of her. Now at 22, my sister can only manage simple sentences. I'm 27, living with my parents, working remotely as a software developer and helping to take care of my sister, ensuring she takes her medication, including seizure medication. Now the present situation. Recently, I was promoted to work as a tech lead at our overseas branch. Although there is still a remote work aspect, I need to relocate due to visa requirements and the need for in-person meetings. I accepted the offer and plan to move in September in a few days. Oh, damn. A month ago, my father became seriously ill. I'm writing this from the hospital lobby. Oh my god, just 2 hours after learning he has stage 4... What is this? Carcinoma? Oh my god, the doctors have given him 36 months to live. Okay, hold on. Whoa! For the past 2 hours, I've been reflecting on how my life has been shaped by external circumstances. I attended an all-boys boarding school because my parents were focused on my sister. I have low self-esteem with girls and have never been in a relationship. My understanding of relationships and love was shattered after discovering my father's affair. Most of my income supports my family, and when I'm not working, I'm caring for my sister. This promotion seems like my last opportunity to prove I'm not just a victim of circumstance, that I can live my own life. Given my father's prognosis, a decent person would likely turn down the promotion and spend time with him, but I don't want to. In fact, I told my family I'm still going, and they got unhappy. It's not that I don't love my family, I do, but this feels like my chance to finally take control of my life. If I once again sacrifice myself for my family, what will be left for me? Is this truly my life? Am I destined to be a slave to the misfortunes life has in store for my family? Am I wrong for wanting to be selfish just this once at such a crucial and difficult time when morally I shouldn't be? It's not like I will forget them or abandon them completely. Just for once, I want to be selfish. I feel like you're gonna regret not being there for your dad when he passes. I hate when people are like, this experience shattered my perception of love. Like, dude, if you can recognize that, then you are using it as an excuse. Damn. It does suck. I feel like you will regret not wanting to be around your dad. But then, it does feel like this person is the main source of income, too. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think I might be the asshole. I chose to accept a promotion and leave my family behind. My family needs me right now because of difficult circumstances, and I chose to accept the promotion and leave anyway. I'm gonna say not the asshole. This does suck. I do think they're gonna regret not, being able to say bye to their dad. Unless they're able to, come back for a little bit and do that. But overall, and it's not just the dad, but now the mom's gonna need to take care of a dying husband and a disabled daughter. Yeah. But it's also, no offense to the kids, but it's not the kids' responsibility. It does suck though. This is such a really bad circumstance. I don't know. I'm also, okay, to be fair though, I'm not really that big of a family person. So that might be some bias that I have there. But I mean, because I do what you need to do to take care of you, but also it's your family, and that's kind of a gray area. There'd be resentment down the line no matter what. This is true. Am I the asshole for putting dinner away and playing video games after my girlfriend came home drunk? I'm gonna say no. My girlfriend and I live together. I am 29 and she is 26. We've lived together for 6 months. I have been very busy at work and with life, so yesterday I was really looking forward to cooking dinner for your girlfriend and I relaxing. We had this planned all weekend. My girlfriend is more of a social butterfly than I am, so she had plans yesterday morning with her friends. She had brunch at 11 and I was planning on having dinner ready by 6:30. I expected to be a few mimosas at breakfast, but nothing too crazy. Maybe she'd get home and take a nappy nap before dinner. Basically, brunch turned into going into one more bar after, around 1 p.m., which turned into more bars, which basically became bar hopping all day. She was texting me insisting that she will be home in time for dinner, but the way she was talking, I could tell she was drunk. I started making the pasta around 5 p.m. Around 5:30, I saw on her Snap story that she was doing shots at a bar in a completely different neighborhood of Chicago. I didn't want to be the boyfriend who nags, so I let it go. I was getting seriously annoyed because I was thinking, oh great, she's gonna be hammered for our nice night we had planned. At 6:30, she was not home yet. I saw on her location that she was now at a different bar from where they were taking shots at. I ate and asked my friends if they wanted to play PlayStation, so I packed up the food, put it in the fridge, and hopped on PlayStation with the boys. Girlfriend arrived home around 7:15, clearly drunk. She asked what the fuck I was doing and what about dinner. I said she was late and dinner was done, but it's in the fridge so she can heat up some if she wants. She apologized for being a little bit late, but basically gave me a half-assed laughing apology saying you never know what to expect when the girl gang goes to brunch. I said that's fine, but I now have other plans. She called me rude and went to bed. We haven't talked about it today, but I can tell she's being passive-aggressive, so am I the asshole? Edit. Oh, and she also went and said my dinner didn't look very good, so that she DoorDashed Taco Bell. Oh my god, not the asshole. Yeah, definitely not the asshole. I feel bad for the dude. I'm sorry, guy. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. So I should be judged on not waiting for my girlfriend to eat dinner, and I instead doing my own thing. I might be the asshole because I took my stand based on principle rather than me actually needing to put the food away. I could have left it out and ate dinner with her, but she was annoying because she was drunk. I think it's fine. Am I the asshole for telling my sister she's not really the kind of mom she thinks she is? Damn. Damn. I'm gonna say no. My sister, we'll call her Samantha. Samantha? Not Samantha. My sister, we'll call her Samantha. 40s. Is much older than me, mid-20s. Samantha is a mom and it's her whole personality. She constantly posts on social media that her home is open to any kid who might not feel like they have a place to go. She gets real into it, and every fifth or so post is one of those memes about being the cool place to crash. Or that she wants to be the house where all the kids can just walk in and grab a soda. She has her kids' friends call her Mama K. Whatever. I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Recently, we were talking on the phone and she cursed and said, "Not again," and said she had to be quiet so no one knew she was home. She then ranted about how neighbors who yell and scream all the time and their daughter who we'll call Annabelle, 7. I guess Annabelle and Camantha's daughter, Petal, 8, are friends. Annabelle comes over every day, or tries to, rings the bell, and sits on the porch if they aren't home, etc. Camantha said that Annabelle comes over, she's always asking for food, and Camantha feeds her most days. Camantha said that Annabelle's older sister, Betty, 15, refuses to go in the house when the dad is home. She will even sleep on their porch. Oh my god. To me, this screams that these girls are, at the very least, food insecure, likely neglected, and possibly abused. Camantha said that she was just done dealing with someone else's kid. I laughed and said, "Ha, so much for all those Facebook posts, huh?" Oh, she was pissed. She asked me what I meant, and I said that she posts about being the cool mom and the place all the neighborhood kids could crash, but then when someone actually seems to need that safe place, she's hiding in her bathroom and pretending she's not at home. I said that I guess she's not really the kind of mom she says she is. She went mental, screaming at me about how I don't know anything. Granted, Camantha said that she'd be fine with it if the girl didn't bully Petal in school. I asked her what Annabelle had done to bully Petal, and she said that occasionally Annabelle didn't sit with Petal at lunch and one time kicked mulch at her during recess. To me, these didn't sound like bullying, but like typical playground conflicts, and frankly, a pretty weak excuse, and I told her so. Anyway, Camantha isn't talking to me currently and keeps sending me hateful texts about not knowing anything about kids. While I 100% don't think she's responsible for dealing with Annabelle, I do think she's being an asshole for saying she's that kind of mom online, but then not actually doing it when it's happening in real life. So, am I the asshole? Edit. I did ask during the call if she had called CPS on the parents. Camantha said she doesn't have enough evidence to make a report. I told her that sleeping outside rather than inside because the dad was home was evidence, and she told me to shut up and not tell her what to do. I also live 3 states away and don't know any of the addresses or even the streets that Betty and Annabelle live off of, so I don't actually think I can call CPS, as all I have is a third-hand conversation as evidence and no specific location. No, not the asshole. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told my sister that she's not the mom she thinks she is because she says she wants to be the cool, safe mom, but when asked to put her money where her mouth is, she doesn't do it. I might be the asshole because it's not really my business, I suppose, but also it isn't necessarily Camantha's problem either, as she's not Annabelle's mom or family. Yeah, not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to be my sister's maid of honor after what she did at my wedding? Why is it always diabolical wedding stuff? I'm gonna say no? Maybe drama. I've been saying no on all of them so far. My sister, 30 female, and I, 28 female, have always had a rocky relationship. When I got married 2 years ago, I asked her to be my maid of honor. I thought it would bring us closer. However, she made the whole process a nightmare, complaining about the dress, skipping out on planning, and even showing up late on the wedding day. Damn. The worst part? During her speech, she made a joke about how she was surprised I found someone who could put up with me. I mean, that's a common joke I think people say, but aw. It was humiliating, and I was on the verge of tears in front of everyone. Now she's getting married and just asked me to be her maid of honor. I said no. I told her I couldn't do it after what happened at my wedding. She blew up at me, saying I'm being petty and holding a grudge. My parents think I should just let it go for the sake of family peace, but I can't help feeling hurt. Am I the asshole? I mean, you're completely valid with not wanting to do it, and you are valid with your feelings on that, so I would say no. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action was not acceptable to be the maid at her wedding, and that making me look like the asshole because she felt betrayed. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna say not the asshole for their perspective, but I'm wondering if they, did just, overreact a little bit, but I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna change my ass. Well, okay, so they are so valid in their feelings, but I just feel like there isn't enough information. Though I guess if it is just straight to the point like this, then I guess not. But I don't know. Not enough info. This next one is, am I the asshole for locking the bathroom door? I'm gonna say no. Last year, my husband had a go at me for locking the bathroom door. He feels I lock it because I secretly put on makeup to go to work. What? That's weird. That's weird. I told him I locked it out of habit. I've grown up locking bathroom doors. Anyways, over time I started to be more conscious when using the bathroom, as in I would leave it unlocked. However, at times I revert to autopilot mode and lock it without even realizing. Today he had a go at me for locking the bathroom door because I was putting on makeup. I didn't put any makeup on. I asked him to show me exactly where on my face was there makeup. This is weird. This is weird. Why are you getting weirded out about locking a bathroom door, first of all? And then being like, you're putting on makeup in the bathroom? That's... So? Even if she was so? This is so strange. He kept repeating himself instead of answering my question. In truth, he didn't answer because he couldn't, as I had no makeup on. I said to him it makes no sense for me to lock the door to secretly put makeup on, as when I get out of the bathroom, he'll see my face anyway. And let's say I did wear makeup to go to work. So what? Oh, there it is. Again, he just repeating himself and adding that he finds it weird that I locked the bathroom door. I find it weird that you find it weird that she locks the bathroom door. I told him I can't be controlled like this, and I'm going to stay at my parents' for a bit until he sorts his insecurities out. He told me he doesn't care if I move out, and I'm weird for locking the bathroom door? Am I the asshole here? No. Oh my god. My red flags are going off here. To answer some post, I asked him multiple times to show me where the makeup was. He couldn't answer. I wiped my face with a wipe and it was clear. To further prove I had no makeup on, he still was adamant that I locked the door to secretly wear makeup. Again, makes no sense because I leave for work. He sees my face. I even started to take a tiny bag to work. This was to satisfy his paranoia that in the larger bag I hide makeup to wear it at work. I've even sent photos of myself at work to him, but still I get accused. That's so weird. Why do you have to do all that? When he met me, I was someone that wore lots of makeup. False lashes, dark lipstick, bronzers, etc. I now wear nothing to satisfy him. But he still isn't happy. He doesn't believe I'm cheating, but that I love the attention of my male colleagues. Again, it's in his head. Everyone at work knows I am married, and my colleagues are respectful towards me. No one is inappropriate towards me, yet he is adamant. They talk dirty behind my back about women. Again, it's his assumptions, no proof. I told him it's controlling to dictate whether or not I can lock the bathroom door. His response was that you love acting the big, and I am the bad girl. I mean, what the hell? Am I not entitled to have some autonomy? Girl, you need to get out of that relationship. That's... you need to go. Not the asshole, you need to get a restraining order. Lofi has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action I took was to lock my bathroom door. I maybe judged the asshole for moving out the marital home after he kept calling me weird. No! That's such a weird... And, like, for him to be, like, accusing her and for her to send pictures, that's so strange. You should... No, that's... No. I hope you're able to figure out your insecurities so you guys can stay together, but, like, that's not okay. Not the asshole. I'm not really focusing on the locking of the bathroom door thing, though. Your husband feels like he has the authority to dictate to you whether or not to put makeup on to go to work, and monitors your bathroom locking situation based on his belief in said authority. That is a major red flag. That's right. Snaps. Snaps. He even insists his makeup theory is correct upon seeing her leave the bathroom. He can see it's false, but mutters the same phrases repeatedly. It's like he is stuck in a flashback or hallucination. He needs therapy of some kind, but he is so out of reality and hyper-focused, he might escalate to be a bigger danger to his wife. That's crazy. Am I the asshole for calling my sister-in-law's husband an interfering asshole and telling him to keep his judgmental comments to himself? No? This seems like a pretty strong head forward one. So I'm gonna say no. I'm 28, male, adopted. My parents were older, 50s, when they became my parents. They had fostered for many years and had known my birth mother, kinda. My birth mother did not want children, but lived with a family who was very anti-abortion and restricted her access to one when she found out she was pregnant with me. Aww. So she decided I should be adopted and wanted my parents to be the ones who raised me. My birth mother is not someone I met, but 18 years after I was born, she wrote to my parents to thank them for what they did and gave a life update to pass along to me. She had no children, never married, and lived the life that she wanted since she was a child. She also thanked them for keeping me from her family, that she did not want them getting their claws into me. Her words. That's strange. Her family have tried reaching out to me over the years, but I always ignore them and I have no intention of responding. That's my history and background. I'm now married to my wonderful husband, Luke, 29 male, and still very close to my parents, who are thankfully still with us. They're also still as amazing as when I was a kid. My sister-in-law, husband's sister, is married to a man called Aaron, and this is who I called an asshole. Aaron has a half-sibling who was placed for adoption years before he was born, his father's child. He and his siblings have tried to make contact with this half-sibling and were told he was not interested. He then learned that his grandparents had offered to raise the half-sibling, but the birth mother chose to place him for adoption instead. This has filled Aaron with some issues regarding adoption and adoptees not wanting contact. He knows that I'm adopted and that I do not wish to know my birth family. This pisses him off endlessly. He brings it up whenever we see him, and my husband has told him repeatedly to drop it, and he also started spending less time with his sister and Aaron as a result. We attended a family birthday party over the weekend, and Aaron approached me and shamed me for not letting my real family get to know me and have me in their lives. That's out of pocket. He called me selfish, said my parents were selfish for adopting me when they were way too old and had already been unable to have kids. He said it was selfish to keep me from my real flesh and blood family. He said he hoped my parents would rot in hell. Dude, what the heck? I cut him off as my husband was trying to scold him, and I say trying because Aaron talked over him. But I called Aaron an interfering asshole who needs to get help for his issues and leave the rest of us alone because he has no right to dig into other people's business, and I told him to keep those judgmental comments to himself because I won't stand for the disrespect of my parents. Aaron and my sister-in-law are unhappy with all I said to him at the party. I think what he said is worse, but am I the asshole? No. Why are they mad because they poked the bear? Literally, what do you mean? Not the asshole. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I called my sister-in-law's husband an interfering asshole and told him to keep his judgmental comments to himself. This was all happening at a party, and I feel like walking away and completely refusing to engage may have made the better man here, versus standing and engaging and basically resorting to name-calling. No, I just feel like it was gonna happen eventually. This thing was going to happen eventually. Not the asshole. Aaron is clearly upset he's not getting his way with the adopted relative, and I find with people like that, they don't actually care all that much about the moving parts or other people involved. They're just upset they've been told no, and proceed to behave like it's the worst thing anyone has ever done to them. He likely can't fathom why someone wouldn't want to know him, so it's the evil adoption enterprises to fault, and he's made you a part of his grand illusion and conspiracy. No narrative matters except the one in his head. Aaron and sister-in-law are unhappy with what you said because it hurt their feelings. But that's a them problem. You've done what you needed to. He keeps disturbing your peace with all his nonsense, and maybe sister-in-law needs to have it pointed out to her. And she's got no horse in this race other than standing up for her partner's feelings. The feelings of someone she loves. And that's exactly what you've done in the face of your parents being unfairly tarnished with whatever brush Aaron dipped in his own family drama. Dang, 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 dang. Asshole enthusiast. Yeah. You are an enthusiast. Very well played. Am I the asshole for inviting my nephew to my wedding despite his estrangement from my brother? No? I mean, because I look into it as like still including them, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I, 33 male, am marrying my fiance, 37 male, this winter. We're putting together the guest list to send the invitations out and have run into an issue over my nephew and my brother. My brother, 38 male, was 18 when his girlfriend told him she was pregnant. They ended up moving in together, and my brother decided to find work as a mechanic rather than go to college as he planned. My nephew was born a little while later. They got married when she told him she was pregnant with their second kid, 15 female, and then had two more, both 10 male. Ever since my nephew was born, he's been literally one of my favorite people. I babysat him plenty of times, same with my other siblings, and have spent my 20s as their gunkle. My brother and me were close as kids, and I've been close with his kids as well. 5 years ago, my brother found out my nephew wasn't his, and his now ex-wife had been sleeping with someone else at the time and had suspected my oldest nephew wasn't my brother's since he was a little kid. They ended up getting a divorce, and my brother didn't seek custody of my oldest nephew and said he didn't want to see him. It's not the kid's fault. He told me that he needed time to process and wouldn't try to patch things up later. That idea was kind of ruined when my nephew turned up at my brother's apartment begging to talk. It turned into an argument between them. This is so sad. For context, our father had just passed a couple of months earlier. During the argument, my nephew said something along the lines of, "No wonder mom f***ed somebody else. I bet grandpa hated you." Oh! Damn. My brother cut things off then and there and has refused to see my nephew since. I stepped in as the main male figure in my nephew's life, much as I dislike my ex-sister-in-law. I even took him out for his 18th birthday and took him looking at universities, and he now goes to my alma mater. Aww. I asked my brother how he wants to handle the seating situation if they don't want to be close together. My brother was angry I'd even invite my nephew after everything that happened. He said it'd be like inviting my ex-sister-in-law. He's not family, he's just the prick who disrespected our dad. I said he's being petty and childish for taking the words of a scared and angry 14-year-old so personally. That's right. That's so right. He was a kid who said something shitty because his entire world was falling apart and the person he'd relied on his whole life was suddenly pulling away. And instead of being understanding and doing family therapy or something like a grown-up, my brother decided to give adult weight to a teenager's words and cut him off completely. My nephew said he's okay with not going if it's causing an issue, but I told him not to be ridiculous. He's important to me, and I want him there for when I marry my person. Aww. I told him he shouldn't let my brother's inability to let go of it be his problem. My fiance agrees with me. My mom and sister both say I need to see it from my brother's perspective. I think he's just being petty. Am I the asshole? No! Why is your other parts of your family? Oh my god, this poor kid. OPS offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I invited my nephew to my wedding despite the fact that he and my brother have been estranged, and he said some admittingly awful things to my brother last they spoke. Not the asshole. Oh damn, somebody gave a whole thing. Let's see what they say. Not the asshole by a mile. You're absolutely right to stand by your nephew and include him in your wedding. Your nephew is clearly an important part of your life, and you've stepped up to be there for him when his world fell apart. He needs that stability and love now more than ever, especially after being rejected by the person he thought was his father for most of his life. Your support likely means the world to him, and excluding him from your wedding to placate your brother's grudge would only add to the pain and rejection he's already experienced. Let's break this down. Teenagers say stupid things. Your nephew was a kid going through an incredibly traumatic experience. Finding out that the man you believed to be your father for your entire life isn't actually your biological father would turn anyone's world upside down. Teenagers are known for saying things they don't mean when they're angry or scared. Your brother should recognize that and not hold a grudge over something said in a moment of heightened emotion and pain. Expecting adult-level maturity from a kid in that situation is unrealistic and unfair. Your brother's reaction. While it's understandable that your brother was hurt by the revelation and the subsequent argument, his reaction is extreme. It's been 5 years, and instead of finding a way to heal or move forward, he's holding on to anger and resentment. His refusal to even consider reconciliation despite your nephew's attempts to reach out speaks more to his own issues than to anything your nephew did. The grudge isn't just about what was said, it's about unresolved pain and betrayal. But that's something your brother should work through, ideally in therapy, rather than taking it out on a young man who's also hurting. Oh. Family dynamics. Your brother's demand to exclude your nephew is trying to force you to choose sides. Weddings are about celebrating love and bringing people together, not about deepening family divides. Your brother has no right to dictate who you consider family and who you want to share your special day with. By excluding your nephew, you'd be reinforcing your brother's narrative that his grudge is more important than the relationships you've built and the love you have for your nephew. Your support matters. By standing by your nephew, you're showing him that he still has a place in the family, that he's still loved, and that he's not alone. This support could be pivotal in his healing process. It's more important for him to see that not everyone is willing to cast him aside based on circumstances beyond his control. Your brother's refusal to move past his anger is his issue to deal with, not yours. You're not responsible for managing his emotions or protecting him from his own unresolved feelings. By inviting your nephew, you're honoring the bond you have with him and making it clear that he matters to you. Your brother may need to come to terms with that, but ultimately, his inability to let go shouldn't dictate your choices or your wedding day. Aww. Stick to your guns and don't let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing love, understanding, and support over petty grudges. You're not being insensitive, you're being compassionate and kind, and that's what makes you far from an asshole. Aww. That's a whole lot of words. To get mad at a 14... He was 14 when he found that out? That's so crazy. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to spend all her savings? Yes. I don't know, probably. Yes. I mean, unless it's like something they're both to be responsible for, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna say yes. That's a red flag to me. I have a raised eyebrow. I'm side-eyeing. I'm a 34-year-old male married to the love of my life, a 33-year-old female. My wife is kind, nurturing, and motivated in her career. She does a lot for me at home since I work long hours. We married 4 months ago, dated for 8 years. We're both easygoing and have the same sense of humor and rarely argue. I make 4 times more money. I'm in healthcare, but she makes a good salary as well. Since I make 4 times what she does, I tend to pay for most things. Dinners, weekend trips, mall shopping, which I absolutely do not mind. With bigger purchases, we pay for things together in proportion to what we make. She's usually okay with paying her share of things, a fourth of the rent and groceries, and will sometimes offer to pay for dinners and dates. She's very close with her best friends. She has 4. They're great people, but they're basically attached at the hip and talk daily in a group chat, which is fine. Everyone needs a support system. I have similar friends. Her and her 4 friends have combined savings. Her and her 4 friends have a combined savings account together for investing in something together. They've each been putting in a few $100s per month each. Damn. I've known about this for years and didn't love the idea initially, which I expressed. But she was adamant she wanted this, and at the time, we weren't hurting for money, and it was ultimately her money and her decision. We are now looking to buy a home in one of the most expensive real estate markets in the United States. She expresses that she does not have much in her own savings, but has $20K of her own money tied in with her friends' combined savings. Over the last year, they've been told by 2 financial advisors that 5 people attempting to invest together in real estate or stocks or a business wasn't a great idea. And they also recommended to split the funds to 5 separate accounts since the account is under one of the friends' names. And there are tax implications for having that amount of money to her name, $100K. Whoa. It's all under one person's name? Ooh, that's trust. That's trust right there. The homes we're looking for are around $60 to $70K for a down payment. I stated I was willing to spend nearly all my savings for the down payment for the house, $50K. So I told her she would pull that money from her joint friends account to help with the down payment. It's a huge purchase, and I don't think it should be my burden alone. She got really upset and told me I don't want to touch that money. I promised my friends it would be for investing together. We should look for a less expensive home then, maybe a fixer-upper. She then stated it would be easier for you to accrue the money back since you make so much more. This was very frustrating, and I told her it's unfair I have to spend nearly all my savings and you don't. Your friend fund is stupid, and it's stupid not to use the money for our future home. Am I the asshole for asking her to use her own cash from her friend's account, break that promise to her friend so we can buy a nice home together? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told my girlfriend she needs to spend all her savings and break a promise to her friends. I also told her promise was stupid. Yeah, saying it was stupid was kinda... I don't trust that it's under one person, but I mean, they're best friends joined at the hip, but who knows? Wait, so she and her friends have a shared savings account that they've been adding together with the intent of eventually investing in as the money is currently just sitting there in one person's account? Not the asshole. That is absolutely ridiculous. I could see the value of having a shared bank account between close friends for the purpose of going on trips and vacations together since you could just pull the money for deposits instead of paying the Venmo game. But this is ridiculous. Makes it seem like she cares more about planning for her future with her friends than her own husband. Yikes. Also, maybe I should live somewhat near... somewhere really expensive, but I'm shocked $60K to $70K isn't already the minimum down payment on a fixture-upper. Then maybe they shouldn't go, like, okay, I mean, this might be a good thing. I'm gonna say... yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. But I mean, it's kind of crazy that she doesn't want to do that. They probably shouldn't go for a house then. Is OP like is girlfriend getting upset that they're not getting a house then, or is she's like, I don't know. I feel like there is compromise. I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. Maybe not enough info. No, I said yes, but I'm not sure now. It was you did turn into that for saying it was stupid, but I just maybe there's enough information on your side, but maybe I want to hear her side too to make a like clear conscious effort to make a decision here. I don't know. I'm gonna say not enough info. Please provide more. Am I the asshole for telling my parents to forget the Hallmark movies and move into the real world? No. I'm gonna say yes, actually. My initial reaction is yes. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. My parents have been pressuring my wife for a while now to reach out to her older half-siblings to establish a relationship. My wife, 27 female, was an affair baby. Oh, God. Her half-siblings share the same mother as her, but are aware of her status as the child from the affair. She was 7 the last time she saw them, but she remembers very clearly that they did not like her or accept her. She knows this hasn't changed because they maintain contact with extended family while also not attending anything she might be attending. This kid didn't ask for that life. My wife's parents were married, but it became a toxic marriage based on cheating, and she's no contact with them as a result. My wife is pregnant with our first child, and this trouble with my parents started when my wife admitted to wishing things could have been different for her and her siblings. Aww. My parents told her that she should reach out because she never knows how they'd respond. She told them she did know, because they continued to keep their distance and not be around her. That she accepted it and would not push or risk a very vitriol-filled rejection from them. But that she accepted they, my parents, wanted the best for her. My parents told her she shouldn't be so quick to dismiss the idea, and they have brought it up roughly a dozen times since. Ooh. I have told them to stop and reminded them that this is my wife's decision alone and that she should not be backed into a corner by them. That's right. Okay, never mind, I was wrong. The last time was Friday night. My wife grew frustrated by the mention again, and I told my wife we should leave, because clearly this wasn't the right place for us to be at the moment. My parents said we didn't need to leave, and they were trying to support my wife. I told them to forget the Hallmark movies and come into the real world, where not everyone is desperately waiting to be reunited with family, where people can hold on to resentment and hate for decades and lifetimes, where people refusing to attend an event that another person might be at should be taken at face value and seen as a boundary instead of being treated like a cry for the other person to reach out. I told them it's not destined for a happily ever after when ignore clear signs and reach out anyway. And to clarify, my parents are huge Hallmark fans. My parents sent me 3 texts right after we left saying I should have kept my sarcasm away from people who only want to help and support my pregnant wife. We've decided a break is needed for my parents, but their text about my comment to them has left me wondering, am I the asshole? No. I was wrong, you're not the asshole. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told my parents to forget the Hallmark movies and move into the real world. I was being sarcastic with a touch of bite in there, and that might not have been the best or most mature response for something like this. So I confess I might be the asshole in the wrong. They see themselves as trying to help too, which also might be why my response was wrong. They've asked over a dozen times. No, they need to stop asking.